Good morning, students. So today we start our class with the remaining part of the equipotential surfaces. So yesterday we had defined the equipotential surface and also few of the properties of the equipotential surface we have seen. In the today's class, the very important usually for 2 marks all that they will ask, draw the equipotential surface for a single charge, for a dipole, for two equal and opposite charge, and for a uniform. If the field is uniform, then how the equipotential surfaces will be. So such equipotential surfaces they will ask you to draw, so that we will see in the today's class. So in this, first we will see for a single charge. For a single charge, how the equipotential surface will be. So single charge, if this is a positive charge, electric lines of force will be in this direction, since it is positive charge. Already you have learned electric lines of forces will be going away from the charge. So these are the electric lines of forces. So I have to draw equipotential surface. Yesterday I explained equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to the electric lines of forces. They are perpendicular to the electric lines of forces. In fact, it will be these electric lines of forces, they are spreading out in the form of a sphere like this in all the direction. I cannot draw here just two-dimensionally. I am mentioning here, so therefore it will be like this. Then how will be our equipotential surfaces? So this is one equipotential surface. Say at some distance, say some 2 centimeter from it is, you know, V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Charge is constant, this is constant, even R also I am keeping constant. If I keep R constant, then what will be? All these, at these points, potential will be same. So this is an equipotential surface. So at other distance, if I take this as a 2 centimeter, say some 4 centimeter, if R is taken as a 4 centimeter, it will be somewhat like this. In fact, all these will be spherical in nature. I cannot draw since it is a two-dimensional. It will be spherical in nature. In all the 3 dimensions, this will be. And as the field boson decreases, yesterday one more property I have mentioned, as field boson decreases. If this is for 2 centimeter from here, this is 4 centimeter from here. So you can see here it is as you electric lines of forces spreading away shows the field is decreasing. As we move away, the field is decreasing. Even the spacing between the equipotential surface is also it is increasing. Spacing is increasing here. When if you take at this point, as the field decreases, electric lines of forces spread out, whereas the spacing between the equipotential surface also it will be increase. Spacing between the equipotential surfaces will increase. So this is what equipotential surface you are drawing for a single charge. So close to the charge, the spacing should be between the equipotential surface, the spacing should be very close. As we move away from the charge, this spacing goes on, increases. Exactly in this way you have to draw. Then only you will get full marks. The spacing should be less here, and as you move away from the charge, the interspace between the equipotential surface should goes on in increase. So next, second case, we'll see for a dipole, for an electric dipole, in a sense, two equal and opposite charges. One is plus Q and other is minus Q. One is plus Q and other is minus Q. So for this we have to draw equipotential surface. How the electric lines of forces will be? Already we have seen in the previous chapter. So electric lines of forces will be so these will be our electric lines of forces for a dipole. I have to draw now equipotential surface. See, here the electric lines of forces are very dense. At this area, electric lines of forces are dense. Whereas when you come to this area, electric lines of forces becomes rare. In the sense, the field is less this side, the electric field is more this side. So, how will be our equipotential surface then? Our equipotential surface is somewhat like this. So, this side, the spacing increases. You can see here, the spacing is increasing this side, whereas the spacing is less here. So same thing, the spacing will be little more. This side, the spacing increases. Spacing increases, whereas the spacing between the equipotential surface is very close this side. Same thing we are observing here also. It will be somewhat like this. The spacing goes on increases because less here, whereas the field is more here. So because of that, you have to draw it equipotential surfaces. You have to draw it in this way. Electric field is more here because the electric lines of forces are showing that they are very dense at this part. So that is why the spacing between the equipotential surface is less. Very rarely we are seeing that the electric lines of forces. That shows that the field is very less at this end. Because of that, this spacing goes on, increases this side. So this is what you are drawing, the equipotential surfaces for the dipole. For third case, equal positive for equal positive charges. So two charges we are taking which are equal in magnitude, both are positive in nature. Both are positive in nature. Both positive charge and also magnitude wise they are equal. Then how will be our electric lines of forces? since these two repel each other, since these two repel each other, electric lines of forces will be like this. What you are seeing? More electric lines of forces this side, whereas almost very rare electric lines of forces this side. In the sense, the field is less this side, the field is more this side. Because how will be our equipotential surface? So this side it will be close, whereas this side it is. So here the spacing is less this side, spacing is more here. The spacing goes on, increases the interspace between the equipotential surface goes on, increases here. So since it is a dense, this side is closed here. Same thing we are observing this side also. How it will be? So here it is somewhat like this. The spacing, spacing is here. In fact, it will be less, whereas it should increase this side. It should increase this side. The interspace goes on, increases here because there is no field. So this will be our equipotential surface. For two equal and positive charges, it will be in this way. Next, for uniform field. If the electric field is uniform, then as you know, if it is uniform field, the electric lines of forces are parallel to one another, equispace, and also they are parallel to one another. These are your electric lines of forces. Then how will be our equipotential surface? Equipotential surfaces will be perpendicular to these. It will be perpendicular to this. It will be somewhat like this. it will be in this way. The direction is electric lines of force. So these will be perpendicular to the electric lines of forces in this way. So these represents our equipotential surface. This side it will be positive charge, this side it will be negative charge in the electric field. So these are the equipotential surfaces when the field is uniform. So now, till now, we have seen electric field, electric potential difference. So all these explains the electrostatic phenomena. Electric field, electric potential, potential difference, all these explains the electrostatic phenomena. Now we will see one more concept which also explains the electrostatic phenomena, that is electrostatic potential energy. Electrostatic potential energy. So this electrostatic potential energy, if we have one charge here, say charge Q plus Q, it is at this point. I am choosing one point P, which is at a distance R from this charge. If I ask what is the electric field P because of this single charge Q, it is Q by R square. The electric field is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square, which is a vector quantity. If I ask what is the potential at this point P, we say potential at this point P due to this charge is 1 by 4 pi epsilon, which is scalar in nature. So that is why, because of that only, we have to take the along with the sign here, because of already I mentioned whether this charge is plus Q or minus Q. If plus Q is there, we have to take plus Q since it is a scalar quantity. If the charge is minus Q, we have to take it minus Q because it is a scalar quantity. No need to take like this here, because it is a vector quantity. You are finding the magnitude, and in the direction what you are calculating, in that direction you will get. So whether it is positive, whether they attract or repel, depending on that, we will write here. No need to, because of that, we were not taking a sign of the, whether it is positive or negative, we were not taking here, we were taking it as QD. But here, since it is a scalar quantity, you should mention here the sign also, whether the charge what you have taken is positive or it is negative. So since it is a scalar integer, now I will ask, what is the electrostatic potential energy? We usually mention it by U, already we have seen in the mechanics in the first year. What is the electrostatic potential energy of this single charge? At this point P, what is the electrostatic potential energy? Electrostatic potential energy for a single charge, it is 0. Electrostatic potential energy does not exist for a single charge. It always exists in a system. Multiple charges, always the electrostatic potential energy exists for multiple charges. For a system of charges, electrostatic potential energy exists. So therefore, I must mention here electrostatic potential energy for system of charges. For system of charges. It is 0 for single charge. For a system of charges, minimum to have electrostatic potential energy, minimum of 2 charges must be there. Minimum 2 charges must be there. Then what it is? If I have one charge Q1 here, let's consider this is plus Q1. It is placed at a position A. Now, I want to bring one more charge B. One more charge I want to bring it to this position B. Say, let us consider say a positive charge only I am bringing. So then what happens? If I want to bring a positive charge from infinity, say some Q2 charge I am bringing from infinity. So what happens here? There is no repulsive force since it is at infinity. Repulsive force or that will not be there. So whereas if I start to bring here, my aim is to bring to the position B in the electric field of this Q2, I am bringing from infinity to this point B. Then continuously I have to do work on it. Already I mentioned how should be my work. How should I apply the force? There should not be any acceleration. It should move with a constant, with a uniform speed, uniform velocity. This Q2 has to move without any acceleration. I am pushing continuously. How the electrostatic force is increasing at an equal rate, I am increasing my external force. External force I am increasing, and I brought it to point B. So, what work I have done to bring that charge? Before they were at a very relaxed. There is no force of repulsion, nothing, because the charge Q2 is at infinity. Charge Q2 is at infinity. They are very much relaxed. No force of repulsion, anything like that. But as soon as I start to bring it close to T, the force of repulsion increases and I started to work on it because my aim is to bring it to point P. So what work I have done to bring that charge Q2 to this? That work is stored in this system. That work is stored in this system. So as soon as what I am pushing, continuously I am pushing it. As soon as if I leave this, then so this will trigger out. Or it may be this also may trigger out. Not necessarily I have done work on this charge Q2. Only the work, the energy has to store in Q2 only. It is not so. It is storing in the system. By keeping this Q1 fixed, what force I applied till here, as soon as I leave, this start to trigger out like a bullet. The other way I will do, I brought it and kept this Q2 here. Continuously by doing the work, I have kept this Q2 here. What I do now, I will keep this Q2, I will hold it. And this Q1 I will leave now. So Q1 starts to trigger out. Exactly when the spring is in its relaxed position, the spring, what I am doing? So by keeping this fixed, if I apply force and stretch inside to this extent, I am applying continuously, I am applying the force and I am holding that spring. I am holding that spring. So as soon as I leave, so what happens? This will, what work I have done, that is stored in this spring. As soon as I leave, that force what I am applying. So what work is stored in it, it start to. So exactly in the same way, what work I have done to bring it from infinity to this point. So that work is stored in this system of charge. It is stored in this system of charge. So therefore, electrostatic potential energy for a system of charge is the amount of work done. To assemble the charges. I am assembling the charges at the given locations. At these given locations, I am assembling them. I am bringing in from infinity. I am bringing in and I am assembling them at the given position. So this work done is stored in this system of charge as a potential energy. It is the amount of work done, in fact, it is external work done to assemble the charges at the given locations by bringing in from infinity, by bringing in from infinity. For this, at the given locations, I am bringing the charges where from infinity. At the given locations, at location A and location B, at the given locations, I am bringing the charges. I am assembling the charges. By doing the work, I am assembling the charges at the given locations. How? By bringing in from infinity. So this we say as electric potential energy for a system of charges. So this is just a two system, a system of two charges. If I bring one more charge from infinity, and if it is kept here at C, one more charge Q3, if it is kept here, that becomes a system of three charges. A system of three charges. If I bring one more, it becomes a system of four charges. So like this, always electric potential energy for a single charge, it will not be there. It is always for a system of charges. So now we'll find out expression for the electric potential energy for a system which consists of just two charges. A system of two charges, we will find out electric potential energy. Expression for electric or electrostatic potential energy. Potential energy for two charge system. This is also one of the important questions for your theory exam. It is a two charge system. So, what I am doing? I am under ideal conditions, no other forces are present in this. Under ideal conditions, first I bring the charge Q1 from infinity to the point A. From infinity, no electric field, no friction, no other things. So I am bringing to this point A. Q1 I am bringing to this point A. In fact, plus Q1 from infinity to this point A. Are you doing any work here? Because no friction, no electric field, nothing. So no work is done to bring the first charge W1. No work is done here. If there would have been any other electric field, I have to push it to bring it. No other electric field, nothing. Under ideal conditions, no field, no friction, nothing. Under ideal condition, I am bringing this charge Q1 from infinity to this point A. So for that, to bring the first charge, no work is done. So next, I have to bring the second charge Q2 from infinity to a position which is at a distance r from. So this the separation between these two positions is this r. So this Q2 charge I should bring from infinity to this. So now what is the work done? Already it has a set one electric field around it. It is positive in nature. The charge Q2 is also positive in nature. So that charge I want to bring from infinity to this point Q2. From infinity to this point Q2 I want to bring. Okay, so it does, this charge Q1 starts to repel. No, continuously I am doing the work without any acceleration. Continuously I am doing the work and I am bringing that charge Q2 to this position B. So now for that, to bring it amount of work you have done. So that we have to calculate. What amount of work you have done? W2. If I say what amount of work you have done to bring it from infinity to this point. Work. So already we know electric potential is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. In fact, this from the basic definition, potential is equal to electric potential is equal to W by Q naught. Electric potential is equal to W by Q naught, where Q naught is the test charge. So W is equal to, it is Q naught into, so during by defining electric potential, what I have done? I have brought a test charge Q naught from infinity to this point. What I am doing now? I am bringing a charge of Q2 from infinity to this point. So for that, what is the amount of work done? For test charge, if it is Q naught into V, so here I am bringing a charge Q2, it is Q2 into V. It is Q2 into V. What is V? V is the electric potential at this point, at point B, due to charge Q1. Due to charge Q1, what is the electric potential at point B? That is our V. Okay. So, what is the electric potential there? Q2. Electric potential at point P due to Q1. How I write the expression? It is V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Which charge is creating the potential? Q1 is creating the potential at B. How far this is? It is at a distance of R. This is at a distance of. Okay, so this is the potential that Q1 has generated at B. Okay, in the sense from anywhere, if you are bringing a charge, you should have a capacity of this much. You should, to bring it from that point to point B, from infinity to this point, you should have a capacity of this much. Then only you can bring it here. If you don't have the capacity, if you don't have the potential, you cannot bring from infinity to this point. Okay, so this is charge Q1, this is charge Q1, and separation is R1, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q1 by R is the potential at this point. So if I substitute in place of this V, if I substitute this value, it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge is Q1. Separation is R. Separation is R. So W2 amount of work is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge Q1 into Q2 divided by R. This is what amount of work you are doing to bring the charge from second charge, to bring the second charge from infinity to this point. What amount of work you are doing? You are doing this much amount of work to bring the second charge from infinity to this point. Whereas we have not done any work because no other electric field under ideal condition, no other electric field, nothing is there. No need to do work to bring the first charge. Whereas the second charge, you have to bring it from infinity to this point. Under the, so this will generate a potential, it will generate a repulsive force. That is why you have to do this much of work. Then what is the total work done? W1 is 0 plus W2 is 1 by 4 by epsilon naught. It is Q1 into Q2 by R. Q1 into Q2 by R. Okay. So now, so shall I write this in the, since you are, it's not visualizing, I'll write it here. What is the total work done? Total work done is W1 plus W2. So here it is 0 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. It is Q1 into Q2. So total work done is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. It is Q1 Q2 by This is the total work what you are doing to generate a system of two charges. To assemble the two charges at these positions, at these locations of A and B. What amount of work you are doing, what amount of external work you are doing to assemble them at these locations by bringing in from infinity to this. So from the definition, so this amount of work done is stored as potential energy. From definition, I can say from definition this work done is nothing but it is our potential energy. So it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 Q1 Q2 by 1 by 4 epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 by R. It is an expression for potential energy for a system of two charges. Once again, as you know, potential energy is a scalar quantity. So there, because of that, if Q1 is positive in nature, you take it as positive. If it is negative, you write it. You can write it here negative. Or Q2 is positive, you write it as positive. If it is negative, you have to write it as negative while solving the problems. How the charges are there, whether they are positive or negative. So based on that, those charges itself, those signs also you should carry to these charges. Since the potential energy is scalar in nature. Okay, so just you can see what are the formulae that we have for force. What is 1 by 4 by epsilon naught? It is Q1 into Q2, if two charges are there, Q1 and Q2 by R square. For electric field, 1 by 4 by epsilon naught. It is just Q, single charge is sufficient for this, R square. What we have? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. There, single charge Q by R. Potential or potential difference. So, U 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. It is Q1 into Q2 by just it is just 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square. This is electrostatic force. Electric field is 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q by R square. Potential is 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q by R, just is R. Whereas potential, electrostatic potential is 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R. So this is vector quantity, this is vector quantity. So here no need to take the sign of the charges. For these two, no need to take the sign of the charges, since these two are vector quantity. Whereas for these two, whatever sign they have got, we are solving the problems, whatever the sign they have got, you have to carry those signs here. Since potential and this energy, potential energy They are scalar in nature. Okay. So today, electric potential energy for two charge system, which I said one of the important question. Even for our syllabus, we have the expression for three charge system also. Expression for the electric potential energy for a three charge system is also there for our syllabus. So that also we will discuss in the tomorrow's class. Electrostatic potential energy for a three charge system. In the tomorrow class we discuss it. Thank you.